The Word is Murder is a 2017 murder mystery novel by acclaimed author Anthony Horowitz. It serves as the first installment in the Hawthorne-Horowitz series, a unique blend of detective fiction and metafiction. In this series, Horowitz assumes the dual role of both author and character, accompanying the fictional detective Daniel Hawthorne on his intriguing investigations. The narrative seamlessly combines the conventions of the mystery genre with introspective musings on the creative process, the intricacies of plot development, and the qualities that make characters compelling and relatable. Prior to this novel, Horowitz gained widespread recognition for his immensely popular Alex Rider series, which follows the thrilling adventures of a teenage spy. With The House of Silk, a Sherlock Holmes novel authorized by the Conan Doyle estate and published in 2011, Horowitz successfully transitioned into writing for an adult audience. His extensive work in television has often revolved around mysteries, notably the BAFTA-winning series Foyle's War, set during World War II in Britain. The story opens with a depiction of Diana Cowper, who makes the unusual decision to plan her own funeral in advance. From a perspective in the future, the author, Anthony Horowitz, shares that Diana tragically dies on the same day and that he will draw upon his personal knowledge and involvement in the case. At a crossroads in his career, following the success of The House of Silk, Anthony unexpectedly receives a phone call from former police detective Daniel Hawthorne, who had previously acted as a consultant on one of Anthony's television projects. Anthony recalls finding Hawthorne challenging to work with, but he becomes intrigued when Hawthorne proposes that they collaborate on a book detailing his latest investigation into Diana Cowper's murder. Anthony's initial reluctance is swayed by a literary festival attendee who suggests that incorporating real-life events into his work could enhance his reputation. However, Anthony finds it challenging to navigate crime scenes and discern relevant details, as he is more accustomed to crafting fictional worlds of his own making. Hawthorne's unexpected ally in the police department provides a glimmer of support amidst the disdain from his colleague, Charlie Meadows, who is officially assigned to the Diana Cowper murder case. Anthony contemplates abandoning the project entirely, but his curiosity is piqued when Hawthorne shares crucial information about the victim. 10 years prior, Diana had struck twin boys, Timothy and Jeremy Godwin, with her car, resulting in Timothy's death and permanent injury to Jeremy. This revelation sheds light on Diana's cryptic text about meeting someone who was lacerated. Intrigued, they visit the funeral home to gather more insights into Diana's plans, encountering the unassuming director, Robert Cornwallis. Hawthorne's peculiar line of questioning regarding Diana's movements during their visit confuses Anthony, and his inquiries about the Godwin case further aggravate Hawthorne. Additional witnesses reveal Diana's anxiety over her lost cat and recent financial losses related to a theater production. During the course of their interviews, Anthony becomes aware of Hawthorne's deep-seated homophobia, causing him to question whether he should continue working with such an unsuitable protagonist. However, feeling a sense of obligation to Diana, Anthony resolves to critique Hawthorne's bigotry while pursuing the investigation. He becomes enthralled by the tragic history of the Godwin family and its potential connection to the murder. In their pursuit of answers, they interview Diana's son, Damian Cowper, who is a fictional composite of various prominent British actors, showcasing a career that includes real-life shows and films like Homeland. As the investigation progresses, Anthony contemplates skipping Diana's funeral to meet with acclaimed filmmakers Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson regarding a screenplay. However, Hawthorne interrupts his plans, insisting that they attend the service. During the funeral, Damian delivers a self-centered eulogy, causing tensions to rise. Suddenly, the burial is disrupted by the unexpected sound of sentimental music emanating from the coffin, an emotional recording of the wheels on the bus. Infuriated, Damian storms off, and as they interview witnesses at Diana's wake, Hawthorne realizes that they have missed a crucial clue. Hastily, they rush to Damian's residence, where they make a horrifying discovery: his lifeless body, brutally mutilated. Hawthorne and Anthony pay a visit to Cornwallis to inquire about the coffin prank. The funeral director informs them that a man had called to inquire about the funeral schedule, leading them to Alan Godwin, the father of the deceased twin boys. Godwin confesses his strong dislike for Diana and his request for money from her. Although he admits to sending her a threatening note, he denies any involvement in harming her missing cat, which had disappeared prior to her death. Before embarking on their investigation of the Godwin tragedy and the judge involved in the case, Anthony interviews Meadows, who reveals that Hawthorne was fired for injuring a pedophile while in custody. As they delve into the details of the Godwin tragedy and the actions of the judge, Anthony struggles to connect with Hawthorne and comprehend his theory about the case. During an interview, Hawthorne expresses his disapproval of the judge's sexuality, prompting Anthony to confront him. Hawthorne suggests that Anthony should have sought the assistance of another author. A witness to the accident involving the Godwin twins recalls a man who hastily fled the scene, leaving behind a mysterious presence. In a staged meeting with Godwin and the family's nanny, Hawthorne unveils the revelation that Alan Godwin had been having an affair with her. It becomes apparent that Alan was spotted in town by his sons, who were actually running towards him when Diana's car struck them. To Anthony's surprise, Hawthorne displays eagerness upon hearing the news that Diana's cat, Mr. Tibbs, has been found alive. Their next interviewee is Grace Lovell, Damien's partner, who shares details about Damien's rise to stardom after stepping in to play Hamlet when another actor fell ill. This revelation sheds light on the intense and competitive environment of drama school. Following another heated argument with Hawthorne, Anthony decides to conduct his own investigation. He visits a drama instructor and experiences a sudden realization upon seeing a cast photo that includes Grace and Damien. Recognizing a familiar face, he promptly arranges a meeting with Robert Cornwallis, who, as it turns out, was Damien's classmate at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, under the stage name Dan Roberts, switching his first and middle names. However, Anthony's discovery is met with an unexpected turn of events as he realizes he is unable to move, realizing too late that Cornwallis has drugged him. Cornwallis launches into an extended monologue, revealing his deep resentment towards Damien for sabotaging his chance to play Hamlet, which he believes ruined his entire future. He orchestrated Diana's murder, knowing it would bring Damien within his grasp. Hawthorne arrives just in time to save Anthony from Cornwallis, who ultimately takes his own life. Anthony is briefly hospitalized, and during his recovery, Hawthorne fills him in on the case, including his long-held suspicions about Cornwallis, who conveniently omitted any mention of his past. Hawthorne finally explains the significance of his constant inquiries about Diana Cooper's cat. Her loss and her detailed funeral plans were indicators of her intended suicide. It is revealed that Cornwallis stole Diana's credit card as a means to return to her home, and Diana recognized him from his role as Laertes in Hamlet, which her phone's autocorrect changed to lacerated. Anthony pays a visit to Hawthorne at his home, finding solace in the additional details he has gathered for his novel. Their partnership appears to have reached a harmonious stage. However, everything takes a sudden turn when Anthony notices a photograph in Hawthorne's house. The woman depicted in the photo is Hawthorne's former wife, the same person who had convinced Anthony to embark on the project at the literary festival. Overwhelmed by anger and a sense of betrayal, Anthony storms out, arriving at a decision about his future. The text ends abruptly, leaving the explanation of his decision untold. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.